Tonight with a developing story out of Barboursville. The charges against that man accused of trying to kidnap a child at the Huntington Mall have been dropped. I'm Amanda Barron.
And I'm Tim here. Thanks for joining us tonight. News Channel 3's Taylor Eaton has been at the Barboursville Police Department this afternoon, where Mohammed Zayan was able to walk away a free man, and Taylor joins us now.
And Mohammed Zayan told us that he didn't know this woman and her daughter at all, who had accused him of these crimes earlier this week. He says he had no contact with them at all, and his attorney said he was actually very confused when police came to him to question him about all of this. Now, this is the moment earlier when Mr. Zayan walked into the Barboursville Police Department and was given his passport back. Of course, that was taken away earlier this week when he was charged. Now, he was here actually as an engineer. He was working in West Virginia. He was working on a contract here, and he's from Egypt. And he was accused earlier this week, of course, of trying to kidnap a little girl at the Huntington Mall. A mom says that he grabbed her daughter by the hair, tried to take her, but that she pulled a gun on him and was able to scare him off. But she later changed her entire story about what happened, saying instead it was a cultural misunderstanding, saying that Mr. Zayan may have just been patting her daughter on the head. But today he told us that he couldn't even tell you what this little girl and her mother looked like, said he had no contact with them at all. And his attorney says she is now very glad that the charges against him have been dropped. And both of them say they're just glad that the truth has now come out about everything.
I feel like justice in this case absolutely has prevailed. Absolutely, we've received justice. We seem to be living in a time where false accusations are becoming more and more prevalent. And I think it would be great if all of us would just step back and think before we speak, if we would think before we react, if we would think before we would judge.
And he did go on to say he feels good and he really feels like he has a friend in his attorney there. Taylor, thanks for your report. Now, the man accused, of course, cleared, but the investigation in this case is not over.
Well, that's because it is now shifting to the mother and whether she intentionally misled investigators. That is the question. News Channel 3's Andrew Colgrove joins us now with more on that angle. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Tim, it is possible that this mother who made this report of an attempted abduction could end up being charged herself. Prosecuting attorney Sean Corky Hammer says they are having ongoing discussions and investigating whether this woman will end up being charged. He says if intentionally misleading information was given to 911, it's a serious offense that obviously led to a major hassle for the man who was accused, not to mention the effort police put into this after it was reported and the fears that were stirred up in the community. I asked Hammers if it's believed the man's race may have played a factor into how this mother acted. Here's how he answered.
You know, I don't know. I can't get inside of her head and report or say what she was thinking. I don't know.
And police say it's not clear what this woman's motive may have been to file this initial report and then change her story. Mr. Hammer says they will determine within a few days or a couple weeks whether this mother will be charged. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Andrew. This is a case that continues to get a lot of headlines, and of course, we have reached out to the mother for comment, but at this point, she has not responded.
I first heard about this story on the True Royal Family's channel, and shout out to her, and also shout out to Caressa McKnight for also sending me additional information. And I was able to find an article as well as the news clip that you just watched involving this story. First, that man is extremely lucky that this didn't go any further than what it could have. And he is, like I said, he is really, really lucky, especially since he's in West Virginia. West Virginia is just a haven of rednecks and racism. And it's dirty. It's like a landfill. Like, the only nice part about West Virginia is probably Charlestown, where the casino is. That's the only part of West Virginia I've ever been to, and I haven't been there in a while. And to be honest, I don't know when I'm going to go back. Whenever I think of West Virginia, I always think of that movie Wrong Turn or anything like that to that nature. But anyway, this Santana Renee Adams chick pulled the ultimate, it must have been, someone tried to do something to my child or something to me. Like I said, it's either rape, sexual assault, murder, but in this case, it was kidnapping. So she made up this whole damn story that this man who she doesn't even know, and he didn't even know her or her daughter, tried to kidnap her daughter when none of that shit even happened. And that damn attorney at the end, he was being on code when they asked him, do you think race had a part in this? He said, I don't know. He knows. Yes, it did. Now, this guy, they say he's Egyptian. Now, I don't know if he how he would identify race-wise, because I'm sure their caste system over there is probably different, especially since most of them over there look alike. But let's just put it this way. In this story, in this case, his race will be labeled as he fit the description. He fit the description would be under his race. Because that's the same kind of thing they would use for us. I haven't heard them say that term in a long time. That's a term they used to use for black folks way back into the 90s, and but probably beyond that, and probably even the early 2000s. That's when they were trying to be politically correct, but we knew exactly what they were talking about. That was, again, some more code speak for you. Lee Atwater has taught us this. But she made up this whole story, and it's not, like I said, it's not surprising. This frumpy looking chick, I mean, she looks frumpy as hell. Like, ugh. Like, she does look like a typical West Virginia redneck born and bred from out there. She was just crying wolf, trying to get someone to get some sympathy for her. I wouldn't be surprised if she was going to use this to try to get some money from the public, create a GoFundMe, for her so-called pain and suffering. And then she, at the same time, almost sent an innocent man to jail. He said he never met this woman. He didn't know what she looked like. He didn't even know what her daughter looked like. And she was going to continue lying with all the evidence that came out against her. She was still trying to hold on to the lie of what this man did. She was still trying to hold on to that lie until she couldn't hold on to it anymore and say, you know what? I lied. Well, she probably didn't say that, but she made it up. And, now she's in the situation she's in. And another thing, money, a lot of money was given out for an investigation. Those investigations are not free. So my question is, are they going to come down on her the same way they came down on Jussie Smollett? Probably not. Two reasons. One, she's a white woman. Two, she's not famous. But that number one reason right there is the reason they're not going to do it, even though they should, because they went and did all this stuff on an investigation that was basically one big fallacy. But I know that's not going to happen because, even though she's the epitome of a whole historical white bitch, she's still going to be protected. But like I said, that man is extremely, extremely lucky that it didn't continue going forward with her. Her claim did not go as far as it could have. And then she had to bring her own daughter into this. Like, she had to rope her own child into this. I think that is so messed up when you got to rope your own children into your bullshit just to try to do whatever. And we don't even know why she did it. All I can say is that she did it for attention. And I don't know. A lot of the times when stuff like this happens, a lot of these individuals are doing it for attention because they're not getting it elsewhere. I don't know if she's in a relationship or if she's close with her family or what. But apparently she was looking for attention and she got it, but it wasn't the right attention. I hope they lock her ass up as long as possible, but I'm going to be completely honest here. I highly doubt she's going to get that much jail time, if she even gets any at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't give her probation for what she did. I don't know what the West Virginia laws are like, but it sounds like they might just cater to her. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.